G'day guys, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we are talking about the Smith machine close grip bench press. What a way to dive into your triceps. I think it's very underrated how well you can actually get stuck into your triceps here. There is nowhere to go. Once that motion starts, the triceps are just doing all the work. You can't shift back or forward with the load, which is just going to keep that tension right where you want it to be. So a fantastic way to go about attacking your triceps. Okay. How do we set up for our close grip bench press? Well, it's exactly the same as our normal bench press. However, instead of having our hands really wide, we're actually going to bring them in a lot closer, a lot narrower, and we're going to press. Now, let's talk about our hand position. A lot of people think that you need to be doing a bench press with pretty much a thumb width apart or your knuckles touching one another. I would suggest not doing that at all, and the reason being is because if we think about line of the line in which this bar is going to travel, or the line of the loading, if I'm coming down, my elbows are going to flare out. Okay, so now that the load is coming down in this direction here, you can see that if I was a building, right, and all that force is generating down here, this building would be put out of commission because it's very much like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and that you have got no foundation to push from. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to take your hands out wider. We're going to keep a nice straight forearm, and we're going to travel down by our side and press back up again. That is going to recruit a great deal more tricep, and on top of that, there's a fair chance you'll be able to move a great deal more load. Now, I've learnt this the hard way. The reason why we don't want to be in this position, sure, you might feel it through your triceps, but over a period of time, you might develop injuries on the inside of your elbows as a result of just that loading and that force very much pushing on the inside of your elbows. So I do suggest just taking your hands that little bit further apart, keep them nice and close, travel those arms straight past your side and drive up through the load. Through the load. Right. Again, the added benefit of the Smith machine when it comes to this exercise is that you are traveling in the one vertical plane. Fantastic, because if we're traveling like this, we're going to keep that tension all through our triceps. Remember our acronym: STEP. Stability, which is what we're going to set up, because we're going to set up exactly the way we would with a bench press. For those who haven't watched the bench press tutorial, head over there, have a watch of that. Number two is stability. If we can create the most amount of stability, we're going to recruit the most amount of muscle, and we're also going to generate the most amount of force. Okay, and then after that, recruiting most amount of muscle is execution. We want to make sure we are executing rep 1 the same as rep 2, same as rep 3, same as rep 20. Okay, beauty again about traveling in the vertical plane is that we actually make this job a lot easier for ourselves because it's not free weighted. We're not, having to control where we are in space and time. We are just working off the same same vertical axis. Okay, let's set this up. Again, we're going to quickly recap what it is we're after when it comes to setting up for a bench press, but for in-depth, go across, watch the bench press. All right, so first things first, we're going to jam these feet underneath my backside. We're going to create thoracic extension. We're going to be pulling our shoulder blades back and down through our lats, and we're going to be pushing down with our feet. Now, with this bar, we are looking to take the bar to the highest point of our chest. So that for us is about here, okay? Now, what I don't want to end up doing is being too jam-packed at the bottom. I want a nice, even, or a nice, comfortable range. Things to avoid are coming into your neck, so your elbows are right in and under. Remember, we're looking to generate our force and press up, so we're looking for those elbows to be not underneath the bar, but as close to being underneath the bar as we possibly can. So we're coming in down nice and tight. Now remember, we don't want those hands in here, because you can see when I do that, I have to flare my elbows out. Okay, so we're looking to go and take these hands just a little bit wider than we normally would, and then think about traveling down by your lats. Okay, way we can do that is if you think about grabbing a hold of the bar and then jamming these elbows and bringing these elbows towards your midline. You can see how much more straighter my arms are now when I come down. Okay, that's probably a bad example. My hand's probably a bit too close. If I bring them in,
drive them down, press through that position there. That there is going to be all triceps, and they will come absolutely alive. So I'm looking to have the insides of my arms here, my elbows, coming into the midline of my body, to the middle of the chest, okay, and traveling that one vertical plane.
Fantastic way to load these triceps to progressively overload. Also, there is a real sense of security when it comes to this exercise because of the hooks. And you have the ability to really progressively overload, and if you can really progressively overload with this exercise, it's going to translate really well into your overall bench press. And if, depending on what your goals are, if you want to increase your max bench press, fantastic way to go about it. Team, that there is how you want to go. Oh, actually, one more thing. When you're setting this bench up, what I want you to make sure that you do is that you actually start with the bar on the bench and make sure that you're in the middle. We're fortunate enough that we have a little bit of kneel to act as a guide. Make sure that you have that kneel bang in the middle of your bench, and we are bench pressing from the highest point of your chest. Remember, we don't want the bar coming to our neck. We want these elbows traveling straight past our shoulders, pressing up just like we would a bench press, but simply bringing your hands in closer. Team, I hope you picked up a couple tricks and tips with this tutorial. Yeah, enjoy, go chase those gains, go get it.